Hey guys, and welcome back to Designer Highlight episode 2. And today we are joined by Caitlin Hegney, a jewellery designer who graduated from Glasgow School of Art. And I wanted to interview her because she has recently was in the news and about her brave and inspiring decision to help people that have died through COVID-19. And to help fund the Herald and this memorial garden using her jewellery. And I thought that was such a caring and kind-giving way to give back to the community, and that inspired me to want to know more about her and her beautiful work. I can show you pieces right now quickly of what she's done, and it's, as you can see, it's so colourful and so vibrant. So I just wanted to show you guys just the power of jewellery, of how much it can help people. As you know, this channel is based on trying to showcase designers and design and how it can reimagine, by reimagining what it is and what it can do to people, and how helpful it can be. How much power that holds. So that's why I wanted to sort of interview Caitlin to show you guys her views on the power of jewellery and her project of the memorial garden for those who have lost their lives to COVID-19. Okay, so without further ado, here's the interview.
Quite an honour to meet you, just from reading what's happened in the Mail, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so inspiring. But yeah, no, it's nice to
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for getting in touch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a service design jewellery designer that focuses on having jewellery that I guess aids people's well-being, and I like the idea of having it to be having this functional value where it can help people through having their mental health, and
yeah,
it's such a personal thing. And I feel like it has the ability. And with you, you said that you kind of also agree with this, and and what you're doing with the donation of to I guess aid the COVID memorial garden is really inspiring. So I just want to ask quickly, what got you into making jewellery in the first place?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I think I was always the kind of person that was always playing with little things. I think because it's such a tactile subject. So I think actually when I started reflecting on it in my final year at art school, I thought it's because I've always collected little bits and pieces. And therefore always had little things that had specific value attributed to them for whatever reason that I usually couldn't remember why. And then I kind of love to just play around with them and to experiment and play. Basically, I think it's a subject that allowed me to play. But then also over the last sort of 2 years since I've graduated, I thought that I think the reason that jewellery sort of inspired me so much, and that was the medium that I wanted to use, is because it's about people. And it just makes sense. It's art that you can carry. It can have so much more meaning, and seems much more relevant to people. And I think it's my interest in people that actually made me want to make jewellery rather than sculpture or art. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because it's nice to make with people in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think it's just because it's so intrinsically linked. It's more than just designing something for the body. It's also thinking about why people would want to wear it, or maybe where it's come from, or where a piece of jewellery is going to go in the future as well. So it's kind of all of it from start to finish is intrinsically linked to people. That's where my interests are.
And your whole theme seems very connected with nature. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's morphed over the years, but it started off with a lot of my work being based around heritage. So again, people's connection to the past. But yeah, I think a lot of the things that the visuals that inspire my work are to do with the way that humans have interacted with the natural world and left their mark on it. So a lot of like the patterns and rhythmic markings and repeat path with the way that people have left their mark behind in clay, or if it's been like ancient prehistoric stone carvings or anything like that. So it kind of is about people's relationship to the world around about them and how they've left their mark. So my my design work is an interpretation of that design and what that means to people from the past, but also what it means to people now that might interpret it in the future. And I kind of like the fact that it kind of transcends all generations like that as a language. So it connects your ancestry to now, or to potentially to the future. It's not like the digital age where we might not know what all of this, like having a Zoom call means anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Making markings into material is a kind of very intuitive and instinctive thing to do, and I think that captured my interest as well as the actual process of doing it. It just seems to make sense to a variety of people from all different ages, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, for sure. Because even I was talking to somebody beforehand, and she her stuff is sort of geared towards like amulets and like what do you call it, like kind of jewelry that's been passed on through like the past. And I thought that was quite like interesting, having those kind of like I guess memories that it carries.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so, because I think, well, especially that then you've got the other side of things, which is the fact that you're working with an ancient craft, and like the other side of my practice is doing workshops with it, so to try and inspire people, even not using the precise materials like metals and things, but just helping people understand the value of learning an ancient craft and what that means in contemporary society. But at the end of the it has an intrinsic value to it, rather than something that you've just bought off the shelf. And I think it's because if you're I call myself an artist jeweler, but if you're making something like that, then you're expecting that it's going to last a bit longer. It's going to outlive fashion trends, it's going to potentially outlive you, it might get passed down, it might have more meaning. It could have a sentimental meaning to you now, but it's designed and crafted to last longer than that. So I think that's kind of where all that comes into it.
Okay, I see. That's interesting. So like, because sometimes as well, like when like I like design jewelry with a function, but with with you've also flipped that around by having your jewelry that can help people in a donation kind of way, and this idea of like the COVID memorial garden. I just want to sort of ask, how did that come about? Because I think that's so relevant, and it's so good that you came up with this, and it's you did it.
Thank you. No, it's it all happened quite quickly, as these things do usually. But I think, well, I don't know, I guess this is kind of like the biggest sort of living crisis that's happened while been alive, and it kind of, because coronavirus just sort of felt like it put an absolute stop to everything. And of course, on a personal level, you're thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Am I still going to be able to work? How am I going to make sales? How am I going to make money? But then ultimately, I kind of thought, actually, well, I was really inspired by all the movement that had happened with like encourage young children and adults to create rainbows and to put them in their windows as a emblem of togetherness and unity, considering the fact that communities weren't able to be together, and you weren't really able to communicate with your neighbours anymore, and maybe it made people realise, if they weren't already doing that in a kind of community setting, how beneficial it would have been to be doing that. And of course, like the rainbow itself had come over so well. It's lived out a lot of different symbols in its lifetime, but it just seems so such a simple thing, and it resonated with everyone from children to the elderly in care homes. And I thought, this is the other great thing that our role is as creative people in society, is that you can do something with that, you can do something powerful with it. So yeah, with the outset of coronavirus, I was thinking, right, you know, it's a fantastic time. I have lots of time, got time to be working from home, but also I could start a new project. And for me, it was like, what can I do to help? Because, you know, you're sitting there thinking, oh, why did I not, if I want to help people, why did I not train to be a nurse or a midwife or something like that? But I know for sure that definitely was not my calling in life. I would not be able to do the work that they do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how can I, raise awareness through the work that I'm making to help a greater cause? And of course, all the fantastic fundraising that's been going on in the news for the NHS and things like that. I was just looking for something that hadn't really been picked up on yet. And then I came across the fundraising campaign for the Memorial Garden in the Herald, and they had just launched it. And I just got straight in touch with them and said, look, I'm thinking about releasing this new collection of stuff, and for me it's a little bit different to the stuff that I normally make as well, so I kind of want and to feel like they're part of this, you know, new movement, that they were contributing to something special. And then from there, that's where it took off. They said that they would love to work with me on that. So then I had a couple of weeks to put my new designs together in the new colours, and yeah, they did some fantastic publicity work for me, and it's gone really well so far. So that's kind of how it evolved. Thank you very much.
Just all the colors as well, like it looks like really nice, and you can see you could like collect them all kind of thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's the thing, that it kind of, I don't know, maybe like the designer in me was kind of interested to see how people would respond to different colors as well, you know, whether there would be ones that people were more interested in than others. And that definitely showed, for sure. And I think it's been really, like a bit of an eye-opener from a design perspective as well, because I normally only work with metals, and I had been focused on the colour blue before, just as a point of research. And actually open it up had been really interesting to see how people responded to these different colours, and also how people responded to the fact that they were contributing to this greater good. You know, so I had made up little cards that went out with the pieces to explain to the person that the proceeds of that sale were going to the creation of this memorial garden. And people responded really well to that, you know, whether it was just whether they had a personal connection to do with a bereavement or something awful, or whether it was just because, you know, they were aware of the scale of what was going on and they just felt that they wanted to contribute, but in a really positive way. You know, they would get something back, and a piece of jewellery, you know, obviously the history of it, you know, you have things like the mourning jewellery and things like that that would, you know, represent all these horrible things that happen in life, but it could also be seen as like a kind of enlightening object that people would feel good for having bought and either given as a gift or be wearing, and be thinking that that was them helping to do something to contribute in a time that otherwise the best thing that we could all do was stay home and do nothing.
Exactly. Sometimes it's like hard to like, it's very brave of you to also like do this as well, because there's a lot of us like who are just like in the same boat, where we're like, you know, we want to do something but we just don't know how. So it's good that you researched and you were like, I can see my where I fit into this. That's really
yeah. Well, I think that's the thing, that like one of the, I mean, I kind of felt the same way actually at the start of this, because I'd never really done anything like this before. But I don't know whether it was just the right combination of the right time and the right thing coming along, it just made it happen. But I think it was just such a strong sense of needing to do something, and it all kind of fell into place, and it was quite good timing with the stuff that I was working on anyway. And like I just felt I had to do something, but actually like it's gone to show that really like anyone can, and it's a fantastic way to remember, you know, that how important the arts are. I mean, like everyone will be the same at the moment, you know, whether you're working in theatre or as a freelance jewellery designer or painter or anything really, you know, you're kind of thinking, how do I fit into all this? Why am I necessary when, you know, we need people on the front line that are figuring out how to make vaccinations and stuff like that, you know. But actually everyone does have a role, because at the end of the day, all these people that are doing all the amazing work to keep our society running are the ones that need downtime. They need films, they need beautiful pieces of jewellery to, there's no full story to it. And it's, in a way, that's, I guess, about their sense of well-being, is that, you know, you need to be there to do the kind of enlightening bit, or the soul aspect, and looking after people that are doing the work on the front line.
Exactly. Yeah. So assume that like because your activity on your like jewellery seems like to really be kicking off, what kind of like business tips would you give people that are kind of starting to do like a jewellery business, and yeah, like how to get maybe commissions or something?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think I'm still learning every day. I don't think I'll ever stop learning. And it's also really tiring. No, but it's amazing, because I think in this day and age, like, we're quite lucky that with platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the other ones, like, I guess I'm not TikToking or anything yet, but all the new ones are an amazing way to access different people that you otherwise would never have been able to introduce yourself to. So, like, I think having an online presence is a great thing, and if you can slowly learn how to use it properly, like learning how to use your hashtags, and I don't know, doing a little bit of promotion every so often is a great way to build up a following. And just putting yourself out there and doing things that are maybe slightly different. So for me, doing this fundraising campaign, it has attracted a different audience that I hadn't really, that wasn't the intention of it, but it was really great to see. It helped draw in a little bit of an older audience for me, because I had advertised in the Herald and one of my local papers as well. Yeah, like, showed me how people were interested in what we do. Sometimes you can think it's a little bit you can feel so isolated, I guess, if you're creating and building a business yourself. You can feel incredibly isolated, but actually, you're not. It's about sharing. So I think, yeah, the biggest bit of advice is just share what you have to offer, and begin to know what makes you special, and then you can, yeah, get that out there and inspire other people. It just sort of happens.
Okay, that's really good, like, tips and stuff, because I am also kind of struggling. I'm just like, how do I get people to notice me?
Oh, I know. I think it is one of the hardest things. But I think diversifying, like, I mean, I try and do as much as I can, like, and especially with lockdown, it's amazed me. Being hooked up to Creative Scotland and to Craft Scotland, other websites, that give you opportunities. At the start, when I first graduated, I was always looking for jobs, like paid work. And that's cool, but maybe we're not all meant to do that. And actually, there's some fantastic opportunities and groups out there that do webinars and do one-to-one sessions that seem a bit intimidating at first, but actually, give you great advice. Like the other day, I did one that was on online marketing, and I thought, oh, that's well beyond me. I'm a creative person, whatever. But actually, it's really interesting, because by proxy, we do this. Especially if you are running your own business, you are everything. You you do the economic side of things. You market yourself. You package them up, you send them to the post office, and it's a bit of a one-man band thing, whereas actually there are some great resources out there to continue to learn. It's just trying to find them is the hard part. But I think, yeah, like being engaged with that and knowing what things are out there. And so far I've just been trying to do, I don't really know if it's worked yet or not, but like I try and do a variety of things. So I've spent a bit of time during lockdown getting my website sorted out finally.
Yeah.
It's just taken a bit of time, but I feel like that's given me a better online grounding, because now I can kind of send people there, so if if somebody contacts me online or through the paper now, because of that the article that was written up, I can direct people there to show them what I do. And yeah, just like being engaged with those different parts, speaking to people saying yes to lots of different things that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah,
Because you never know who you'll meet and when.
that's so true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, I don't know, there's probably loads more.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, just like be brave and put yourself out there. I like that. But yeah, thanks for talking with me. It's been so interesting. I'm like taking so many notes. Like,
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much for getting in touch. And yeah, it's a big, massive world out there on Instagram, isn't it? So we're
yeah,
always here. I'm always on for one reason or another if there's ever anything. I think it's really powerful, actually. I think it's amazing. But yeah, I remember, I think it was actually in my second or third year at art school that I got introduced to Instagram. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, like I kind of like it, but it just seemed a bit more visual. So I was like, that seems like a good thing. So I'm trying to treat it more like a diary now, where I'm just, this is what it's like. Here's the thing I've made. This is how I've made it.
in the process.
Yeah, to feel a bit real, because I spoke, actually that was interesting. I had an interesting conversation with a photographer before all lockdown happened, and she was saying, like, I don't know what the relevance is of having a portfolio website is anymore, because you can practically sell everything through Instagram, and you can actually update things quicker. And I was like, I hadn't really thought of that, but I think it's there's a professionality about having a website, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure.
And being in touch with different people. But it's, yeah, I just think it's great, like how amazing it is how you can just reach out and talk to somebody completely at random and hopefully get a response.
You know?
I've been doing it all the time during lockdown. It's great.
You know? Especially when you're like, you'll kind of follow people and they're like, oh my god, they followed me back.
Yeah, but I think that's the way forward, is just to go for it.
Okay, so thanks guys for listening to the interview with Caitlin. And again, she's just really inspiring, and there's so much things to take away from that. Just be it how much that you can, like, just through like reading the newspaper, or just seeing how much opportunity there is, and if you feel compelled to help people, like, just there's always a way to help people, be it through like art, or there's always some way that you can contribute. And as you said, like, don't be afraid to say like yes to people, like just any opportunities that's open to you and you feel that you can fit in to somewhere, just like do it. And it's such a kind gesture. And even with like social media, like, don't be afraid to just like go onto someone's like social media, like, as they say, like, slide into the DMs. Like, I do it all the time, otherwise you wouldn't see these designers popping up through my designer highlight. And it is nerve-wracking, but sometimes you just need to like be brave and just be like, right, okay, I'm gonna be impulsive, and just like, so yeah, just I think this is just really inspiring. And you never know what, as you said, like, you never know what the outcome could be. And yeah, it can make or break you. It's mostly going to make you. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you've learned a lot. I hope you've become inspired, and I hope that you can like reimagine, and I hope that you can keep sticking around, because I would like to get more designers, because there's a lot in my mind of other designers I'd love to interview as well, to, I don't know, maybe get you guys further inspired, or just see what their work is. And yeah, so yeah, keep on keeping on, guys. Keep being creative, keep being artistic, keep being you, keep inspiring others, and don't forget to reimagine. Okay, see you guys.